Can I press start? Okay, press A also works, and then press A will start the game. Okay, what if I press start, and then press start again? That also works. Holy cow, wow, they thought of everything. I suspect that this card just kind of sucks, honestly. Dagnabbit, you turds. Reset. Hey guys, so we're gonna play Mario Kart Double Dash today. I wanna talk about, let's say, expanding choices. So when you have expanding choices, the goal is to make sure that you are giving new opportunity for valuable experiences. So one of the things with expanding choices is make sure it adds value. Does this provide, either drive more into one gameplay style, perhaps this changes the gameplay style? When you're looking at does it add value, you really need to consider your vision for your game and see, okay, does this line up with the vision? The reason why I thought about this game for expanding choice is because I'm gonna win it. Actually, yeah, now I'm nervous because I'm like, I want to do the game study, but I also want to win. Isn't that just amazing? Isn't that like, look at 150C, wow. Wow, I'm so good at this game. One of the things with expanding choices, that can mean combining things that used to be separate. And I think I've talked about this quite a bit, but one of the ideas for brainstorming can sometimes just be you combine two things that seem completely disconnected. So for example, Bowser and Donkey Kong, they're so disconnected. I mean, they're in the same universe, but you know, like Wario and Peach, so disconnected. Well, what if instead of just, you know, you end up racing and you have one character in a cart and you're driving around doing your thing? What if you had two characters in a cart? And now you have combinations. And so rather than just having, like, if you have 12 characters, normally you'd have 12 options. Now, because you're combining each of the characters, you have more options than 12. When you combine things, you can actually make it relatively easy to have a lot of options for players, because you can choose any combination of these characters, get a bunch of different combinations of items, but they're not having to create new items for every combination. It makes it a lot easier. So one of the things that you can do to expand choices is that you can combine things. In some cases that can be complex depending on what kind of interactions you've got between them, but in Mario Kart Double Dash's place, it is like way more straightforward. You can also add things, which is kind of the obvious thing. You alchemize things, which is where you combine things in a way that makes a new thing. But in this game, they're really focusing on combining things. And combining things is great. It gives you a lot of new options for content while making it not a lot of new paint for making new content for developers. So the developers don't have to cry, because that's sad. Add things, combine things, alchemize things, swap things. And with that, we can spell out Arcus. A lot of simple stuff while still managing to keep it simple overall. Yeah, I agree. And I think that Nintendo in general does great with that. They're really good at focusing on like a few or really like one core idea and being like, hey, does this feel good? And then they build out from there and then they expand it. I think it's a kind of rookie developer mistake a lot of times where it's like, my game isn't fun. What do I do? Oh, I'll add more features. And it's like, no, it's not fun without those features. It's probably not going to be fun with those features. In some cases, there are like make or break features that do bring in the fun, but in general, like even just moving around in Mario games just feels great. And I think that that's an important goal for game development in general, is does even moving around feel good? If I didn't have anything to do, would I still want to play this for a little bit? Or would I just be immediately like, no, okay, I've jumped once, leave it alone. Like Mario games, it's fun to run around Peach's castle and stuff like that. And Super Mario 64, Super Mario Galaxy, it's fun to go around Rosalina's observatory. If that was all that the game was, it wouldn't be enough. But they made the movement feel good and feel fun, so that going further than that is great. Expanding choices, I think, is really something that ought not to be pursued first. I'll get rid of the you doofus. Make sure the core is good before you add on to it. I'll give it one more go. Now try for a trophy. 7th. When it comes to expanding choices in games, one of the things is that you need to make sure that the core is good before you add on. If your game is dumb, then guess what? What you add on isn't going to make your dumb undumb. The stupid is still going to be there. And you want to de-stupefy your game before you expandify your game. What you do must add value. And one of the big things, I always say this, but keep in mind your game's vision. Then also, when it comes to expanding choices, ways that you can do that, one of them is that you can add new things, you can combine things like Mario Kart Double Dash, where you end up having different characters that you put in different carts, and you can have two characters in one cart, and it's crazy. You can alchemize things, you combine them, which would be like, you know, you get Mario and Luigi, and then you get Muigi. You can swap things, like for example, you can end up swapping out a cart, and then also different things that you can end up switching. You could switch abilities, item stats, and a lot more. Those are just 3 different ideas. Outro. And I forget who made my background pink, but thanks. Like, and Have a great rest of your day and take care. Goodbye.